One of the basic fundamentals of any kind of editing software is understanding what shapes you can add, how to edit them, and how you can manipulate them to make them what you want. Now, in PowerPoint, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, and again, the more time you spend, the better results you'll get. And it's not necessarily the more time you spend learning it, it's the more time you spend actually just tweaking and playing with it. I have a problem with that. I'll sit there forever until I get it just exactly what I want. And sometimes it takes a while. I'm sure there are other programs that you don't have those issues with. Now, to insert your shapes, you have this under your Insert tab that we talked about before. You have this Shape tab. You click it. It brings all of these up, which you can use these to get to them and see what you want. Or you can just go down here to Shape Browser, which I recommend. Click on Shape Browser. It brings up this window. It has all of them that are pre-programmed with their own capabilities and their own little unique eccentricities. Now, there's a lot of different options here, but I'm only going to show you a couple of them. Basically, mainly what you use is a rectangle for drawing a lot of things. But, I mean, you look through it and you try to find the best thing for you. So we're going to start with a rectangle. So you just click on it, you select it, and then you take and you draw your rectangle. Whatever size you want, however you want it to be, wherever you want it to be. Now, almost every time, they'll come out with this blue gradient with a shadow with a blue line. Now you come up here to the left-hand side, you click on Format, which brings up this menu, and this is all the options that you have when it comes to adjusting your shape. So you click this Fill, you drop down this tab, and you can change the color on line. Right now, let me show you what it has. It has a blue line. You click it. I increase the weight of it so that you could see it, but I don't want a line on it, so I'm going to get rid of that. The Effects tab, you click that, and you have all of these effects. Let's click on Shadow, go to No Shadow. Now, there's another way to get to this. It's you just right-click, go down to Format Shape, and you have a menu with all of these options in it, which makes it a little easier to get to, makes it a little easier to get to everything, and you can do all these things individually and see it happen in real time while you're working on it. Now, basically, when it comes to coloring it, you have all of the options that you've always had in Microsoft Word or PowerPoint, if you're familiar with that. You have your solid colors, you have your transparency slider, you have your gradient colors, and you can customize these however you would like. You can, let's say, linear. You have this rotating knob here to adjust the angle. As you can see, it creates this transition between the two colors, or however many colors you want. It's really easy to add whatever you would like. You just right here, this Add Color button, you click it, and it brings up a new little tab, and you can add whatever color you want in there and adjust how you want it, and then adjust your transparency. You can add so many of these that it gets confusing. I don't recommend that. And then it's easy to delete them if you have too many, or if you get something you don't like. You just select it, make it blue, and hit the delete color button, and that will get rid of it. But if you want to change the color, you just select it, make sure it's blue, or whatever color you have it set up to do. You can go to more colors, and you can play around with that. As you can see right here, you have the color bar that shows you what you're actually seeing, what it actually is at. You can adjust your lightness and darkness, your brightness of it. Let's get rid of that. And let's actually make it a solid color. There we go. Your line, you have a lot of options here, and you have access to them. Your weights and arrows, your gradient, yeah. Same as the other. Shadow, you have a lot of options with shadows. You can choose the style of shadow. You can choose the angle of your shadow. You can choose the size of your shadow. And once you start adjusting some of these things, you start seeing how they're affected whenever you get it big enough to see, and then you can pull it back. That's kind of what I would recommend is make it gaudy almost, and then pull it back to where you want it, because everything is easily fixable. But as you can see, and then blur, transparency, and so on and so forth. Everything is self-explanatory. Go to glow. You can adjust the glow, which I don't really recommend this too much unless you really need it for bringing out text, which I've used that quite often. But for shapes, it's not really the greatest idea. Soft edges, it's great for blending between different colors or different shapes. Whenever you have a background that you want to kind of just set something off, or just play with it. See what it does for you. You have reflection, which is, as you can see, a reflection. You have the 3D format, 3D rotation. We'll go over those later. Adjust picture, artistic filters, and crop you don't have access to unless it's actually a picture. I'll show you how to create your shape, create what you want, and then take it, save it as a picture, and you can come back and use those to edit it a little bit more and tweak it to where you can get it more what you want. And so on and so forth. You have a lot of options there. That's basically how you insert and start using your shapes.